probably.
It depends on what it is, exactly.
I mean, if it's gonna hurt other people and myself, then yeah, I wouldn't do it. But if I,
I mean, it makes you think.
Look the other way.
Yeah, it makes you. It makes you.
I mean, come on, I'm just keeping it real with you.
Right, because think of how many people are doing it. I mean, look at all the representatives in Congress. They're all millionaires.
Or think about it this way, because this is how I thought about it. Like, I really put some thought into you guys and stuff I did. So all the people who are saying, there's nothing I would lay my morals down for.
Not true.
Those are the people always getting screwed by the people who are laying down their morals.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I justified it by saying, like, if I sent my daughter to school and some, kid is punching her in the nose, and I'm like, we just got to do the right thing. Let's just be morally sound about this, and we'll pray for her, and hopefully she'll stop. I'm like, no, put down your morals and put up your dukes.
Yes, exactly. Okay? or how about look at it this way? And I think James Brown said this. I didn't sell out. I bought in.
You bought in?
I bought in.
Right, I don't know if I'm buying in.
Yeah.
It just depends on what it is.
You bought into the program. Right. They're going to pay you for it. You bought in.
Yes,
you didn't sell out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I'm a firm believer in this. A lot of people that go to Congress, they go there with this great idea and this assumption, right? But to get anything done, there's a procedure to do it. And if you're not willing to play, nothing you're going to do is going to get passed. So either you're going to buy into the system and try to work within that system, or you're looking on the outside saying, "What? I'm ineffective."
You'll be a Bernie Sanders, the poorest senator in Congress.
Yeah, Barack Obama. He was one of the poorest.
Right, he was.
Yeah, well.
And then Al said, all the church folks say, "Lay down my burdens down by the riverside." Yeah, don't lay your morals down. Don't listen to me. And then so Earl says he's preparing. He's getting out of here.
Oh, right on.
Gosh, where are you going? You keep saying I don't know where you're going. And Richard says $1 million cash on a non-disclosure agreement will change the morals of a lot of folks. It's sad but true. Yeah. I mean, that's why I said, come on, keep it real. It depends on what it is. Like, why am I going to be the one that's, well, gosh, yes, I just got to always do the right thing.
Yes.
And how much we talking?
Right. Or for you to get out of the game. All they want you to do is leave. What would it take for you to leave this situation?
What situation?
Whatever situation you're in right now that I want you to get out of.
It just depends on what it is. I mean, come on.
Like right now, a good example.
A girl's got to eat.
Right. Okay, you're in a marriage and you want a divorce. What's going to take for you to get out of that marriage?
Well, is that I don't know if that's really a moral thing. I mean, is somebody else buying me out of the marriage, or am I getting a divorce self?
You're with your side dude that has millions and billions of dollars, Jeff Bezos, millions and billions of dollars, and then you're with the regular dude. See what I'm saying?
I'm just one of those people. If I'm a cheat, I'd rather just be with that other person. I ain't gonna be going back and forth.
Gotcha.
That's a whole other story.
I hear you.
And let's see. And so yes, Al is a mess, Earl. And then, hey, Commissioner Baker, what's happening? Says, what up, y'all?
The commish.
And then Charles says, oh, no, not Trump. Thanks to the Democrats, we will be having Trump for 8 years. You know what? Honestly, I agree with you.
Yep.
He's like...
If he doesn't kill himself first, so...
If he gets over all this nonsense, he'll be in there 8 years.
Well, no, he'll get over a lot of it. But what I'm saying is, here's what people don't know. His family's affected right now. So basically, when you go to court and you die, remember the Enron scandal? The guy that was the head of the Enron?
Yeah.
He ended up dying during the during the case.
Right.
Now, the government was going to take all his property, everything. Right. When he died, all that comes to a stop. His family gets to keep everything, and it's like it never even happened.
Well, he killed himself.
Yeah, he ended up killing himself. But the point is, in law, it's like he was never charged with anything. And his family got to keep all their property and all that other stuff while people lost millions of dollars and lost homes and stuff like that. So that's why I say if Donald Trump doesn't kill himself or he has a quote, quote, heart attack.
Donald Trump is too arrogant to kill himself.
Not for his kids.
I could see him throwing them little suckers off a bridge somewhere.
We'll see.
And he says, no comment about Amazon. Yeah, that's a godly. That's a whole other ballgame. This dude is potentially going, I'm just going to comment on
this. The richest man in the world.
The richest man in the world is going to give up half, which I think he should. He's been with this woman 25 years. I think he should give her half and then some.
Yeah, because it was her daddy's garage that they started the business.
I mean, but I'm just saying, but he going to go trick it off with the new woman. Hey. But ain't that sad? Like, fellas, talk to me. Y'all giving up a half of was $170 million he's worth? So what they say, about 68 million or so?
Billions.
I mean, that's what I mean, billion.
Billions. He's the richest man in the world.
Some booty?
Half. Eddie Murphy said that back in 85. Ha!
Is that some $1 billion booty you messing with though? I mean, God.
At the time, it was. I'm a young 19-year-old. She's 23.
No, she ain't. It's Lauren Sanchez from out here on the news.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm a young 19. She's 23. To me, that's the best thing I ever had. I was a virgin at the time, you know? Woo!
I'm talking about the side piece. It wasn't worth billions of dollars.
To some people, it is.
That's the only comment I have about that. And Bible says, I know people in the streets who will take out your whole family, damn, for $500, and that's no joke. I mean,
I know some that will take them out for a biscuit and a 2-piece. I'm serious. I'm serious.
We really should not even be laughing about that at all. But you're right. There's people. I used to have a math teacher. I don't know why he would always say this, but he say, some people kill for less. Yeah. And I'm a kid, like, what is he talking about? But now I get it. It makes sense. And then Al says, Al Jack joke of the day. What did Jen tell Forrest to drink while at the bar? Rum, Forrest, Rum. You are
Rum,
so
Forrest, Rum.
Corny. Make me want to have some corn for dinner. And then Richard says, as Jesse what morals did he lay down in 68 to be able to attempt a presidential bid in 84?
Exactly.
Let's see. Had it not been for the greed and the misappropriation of funds, he would have gotten a chance. He would have gotten a chance to lose. So you're saying he would have gotten a chance to lose in 84? Because I don't even think he got on the ticket at all. I mean, when he was running.
Yeah, he was running, right?
He didn't win the nomination, but yeah, I mean, so you're saying in 64 or 68 in regards to Martin Luther King.
Right. How did he come to the forefront?
What did he do? Right, because he was there. Right.
And he mysteriously wasn't there during the shooting.
Well, he was.
No, he was there, but
the shooting, or he ended up on the balcony.
Right.
Got it. Yes. So I've heard, And then, good question, though. And then Charles says, while a good criminal like Bernie Madoff is still in prison for robbing the rich, yes, Bernie Madoff was a cold piece.
He ain't coming out
cold piece. He had people killing themselves, having heart attacks because he took all their money. And a lot of this was his friends and family. Mm-hmm. Just like the dude he wasn't even investing the money at all. He was just tricking it off on $20,000 trash cans for his wife's bathroom.
Right. And then he had to keep the scheme going by reinvesting
and that's how he
it.
got caught because people was like, "Yo, I want my money."
Right.
And then everybody started saying it. And then and even people complained to the SEC and they're like, Bernie's good. He wouldn't do that to you guys. And Alex says, I'm lost. Who has $1 million booty? What happened? Billion. Billion with a B. Jeff Bezos is getting a divorce because he got caught tricking off on his wife. And so Jeff Bezos is the owner, CEO of Amazon, who is also the richest man in the world to the tune of $170 million. Billion. I keep saying million because gosh. But $170 billion, and he's potentially going to give his wife half or more. They've been married 25 years, so she's been with Jeff Bezos before he was Jeff Bezos. And so that's why I said $1 billion booty. The side piece, was it worth it? And Earl says, she is entitled to have, but they were friends, and it's going on for years. She is about to have controlling interest in Amazon. See, that's what I would do if I was him. Let's keep these assets together because, I need this title of being the richest man in the world. What's mine is yours still. I do it like we've been doing it. And then you also say she already owns half of the estate before his divorce. Okay, well, there you go. And then she's an accomplished writer as well. So, it's not like she's just broke, handmaiden somewhere. She's got her own thing. I mean, Alex says, Jeff Bezos personally told me that his wife was messing around with some brother named El eBay who told her to make a wish. She's so silly. And Earl says that Latino put it on him. Your wife's friends was at the event. I could see them now whispering, calling his wife. He's with this woman. Yeah, because they have photos together. Lauren Sanchez is out. Well, they're all out here. But she's a newscaster. She's a newscaster out here. She all right, but billions? Gosh.
Hey.
I want to say so much more, but I'm not going to because it's going to go somewhere else. But yeah.
That's the hustle.
So Alex says, yes, I see.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
And then Charles says, wow, half Eddie Murphy.
Half.
Well, she deserves it. She deserves it.
Wait. I agree. If you're with that man together and you started when he were in the garage together, she deserves half of everything. My problem is these side chicks want to get the same benefits as the legal wife. You know?
Well, no, yeah, I don't think there's no argument. She deserves. She deserves it.
She deserves it. I mean, she's with that man
Right.
through the thick and thin. So
I don't see any more comments about that, so we can continue to talk about it. Richard says, I know people that handpick cotton for $45 an hour and benefits. Damn, well, they got applications. I'll be out there picking some cotton. He said, you've asked. I mean, can you hook a sister up with the application? That's all I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And do I get Monday, the weekends off? And is it 9 to 5?
There it is.
Now I don't want to work 8 hours. I just want to do a few hours. So I'd be cool with that. And then Uri says, my thesis was about Madoff. They investigated him but could not figure how he was duping the system. Yeah. At first, they didn't investigate it because he was in. He had friends and stuff at the SEC. They knew him.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "Yeah, he's
a good old guy."
They kind of took it lightly. And I can't remember the guy who was reporting him because he heard about it, and he heard about through people who were saying that the investments were too good to be true, and so he did the numbers. He's like, "There's no way."
Yeah, because 5% or something they were making. I mean, and it never went
like
bad.
18 or something like that.
It never went bad.
And a guy crunched the numbers. He said, this is impossible. So he was ringing the alarm at the SEC, and they were like, well, we know Bernie. But then after a whole bunch of hoorah, they finally took it seriously. You know, people was having heart attacks and stuff, you know. And we ain't talking about like lotto money. We talking about old money he was getting from people.
Yep.
And then, so she said, are you going to discuss AI? I got you. Trust me, I got you on deck. And I went deep, Patricia. I went deep.
Wait, before we do that, I want to hip everybody out. Shante Gonzalez, she's an independent stylist for Stella.com. You guys check her out on Facebook. It's Shante Gonzalez, independent stylist for Stella.com. She's up there with some really good stuff. I'm looking at it right now, and I might have to go get my mama something.
Get your boo thing something.
Some earrings or something like that. So if you guys are interested, check it out. Check her out.
Okay, and then yes, I got you. I got you on deck, Patricia. And then Al says, $1 billion booty, ladies, you can make it bigger, juicier, fatter. Shut up. And Earl says, forgetting he made the stock exchange program, right? So
he did.
He come on, we ain't gonna check our friend. And he also said it was a competitor in Boston who rang the alarm. So somebody was like, wait a second. Okay, so let me move on. Now this one is kind of I won't say deep, but it's deep enough. So Africa Lumumba asks, that is such a regal name.
Yes, but how many people know of a famous Lumumba?
How many?
How many people out there know of a famous Lumumba and what happened to him?
I don't. Maybe this is him.
No, you don't know of Patrice Lumumba in the 60s?
Yes.
Yes. See what I'm saying? There we go.
Sure.
He was killed by our CIA and the Western powers.
Got it. Thank you. Maybe one day you'll do a show on that.
I'll do a show.
Okay, got it. So Africa Lumumba asks, we black people seem to have same issues that stem from racism, be it in America, Europe, Haiti, Africa, and elsewhere. Do you think it's time for a black revolution to face these issues as one? Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and let's see. And so Patricia says, thank you. You're welcome. Tay says, you made me drop my spatula. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it. What you cooking, girl? What you cooking?
Hey, Tay, unlike some other shows, we don't charge for advertising.
Right. And then Earl says, a good book no one will listen about Bernie Madoff. Yes. Okay, so check this out. So again, he says, do you think it's time for a black revolution to face these issues as one? Because he's talking about all the people all over the world, black people all over the world having the same issues. So specifically, he wanted me to talk about the Black Revolution. Well, what is the Black Revolution? The Black Revolution or the Black Power movement is a movement that empowers black people and instills a sense of black pride and knowledge of self into black people by way of programs that promote black nationalism, independence, and unity, among other things, right? Okay, so the Black Revolution stems from the 1700s until now throughout the world. Some of the people who are instrumental in the Black Revolution were and are, because obviously some of them are gone now. Commander Toussaint Louverture. You like that?
Yes.
I did take French.
Yes.
Okay.
Totally useless saying it in a Spanish
I got
state.
F's, but I did it. Okay. was a free man who helped lead the Haitian slave revolt with the French against the Spanish. In fact, and of course, there's a whole lot of other stuff, but I'm just giving y'all the basics. In fact, even though he died before he could see the fruits of his labor, the Haitian slave revolt was the only successful slave revolt in the history of slave revolts all over. Okay. Next, we have Nat, and I'm coming to a point with this. This is why I'm listing these people. So Nat Turner was another revolutionary who organized a slave revolt against the white slave masters in 1831 in order to free himself and other blacks from the slave masters. It was quite successful until, well, he was trying to be successful until other blacks turned him in. We know the story of Nat Turner. There's no need to go into that. We also have Harriet Tubman was another revolutionist who not only escaped slavery, but made at least 13 undercover missions to free other slaves. She was known for using underground railroads as an escape route to freedom. Then we have Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. Then we have Steve Biko, who was a South African activist.
Love me some Steve Biko. Oh my
God. Revolutionary and leader of the Black Consciousness Movement. He galvanized the young people of South Africa to fight against apartheid government. Yes. They were a political force to be reckoned with. He was for Black nationalism and Pan-Africanism. The ultimate goal was to uplift Black communities. All right.
Watch Cry Freedom, starring Denzel Washington. That talks about Steve Biko.
Right. And then so he was known for saying, Black is beautiful, be proud of your Blackness. Okay. Now we have John Henry Clark, who was also instrumental in the Black Power movement by promoting African American studies within the educational system. He believed that African American studies in schools were whitewashed. He was also a scholar and a Black nationalist, among many other things. We had Fred Hampton, who was one of the leaders and voices of the Black Panther Party in Chicago at the young age of 21. He was in the process of uniting the gangs in the Black Power Panther Party to uplift Black people and to protect themselves against the persecution of the police and political system. He was doing well until the organization was infiltrated by the FBI, who used the Black man to murder him. Okay, so he was murdered at the age of 21. If you ever think about Fred Hampton, you're like, gosh, he was only 21.
Yeah, when I think Fred Hampton, I think of the musician, but yeah, I know you're talking about that one too.
And then so we have the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, obviously the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Then we have Muammar Gaddafi, the president and revolutionary of Libya, who was in the process of uniting the African diaspora. He was well on his way to being successful until he was murdered by the Obama administration that relied on the intel of Donovan's favorite person, Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Julius Malema. I'm almost done, you guys. Of the economic freedom fighters, is trying to liberate Africans in South Africa from their oppressors by taking back what was stolen from them during apartheid. They want expropriations without compensation. Basically, that means taking back the land from white South Africans without compensating them. Like, kick rocks, give us our land, bye. Right? Of course, the EFF is getting opposition from the oppressor, but they are also getting pushback from the Black South Africans, especially or specifically the African National Congress, or the ANC, and President Cyril Ramaphosa. Right? So to answer the original question of, do you think it's time for a Black revolution to face the issues as one? So all of us, all these people I listed around the world, is it time? The answer is absolutely. And as I just illustrated, Black unity is not a new
concept.
Idea. It's not new. Okay? We just need to figure out how to do it successfully and how to make it stick. Clearly, we have been shown how to do it. With that being said, we are just lacking the will to do it. Now, obviously, it's not just the will. There are a host of other things like, systemic and institutional racism, all that kind of stuff. But I would say for the most part, we are lacking the will to unify for whatever reason. And so... Yes, I think it would be beneficial for all the African people around the world to unite. Because as we know, Africa is being raped and pillaged and plundered by everybody. The Chinese are now, and they're having their way with it.
Over 200 years, just taking the minerals out and all that stuff.
Right. And so, and then Alex says, Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. And Earl says, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Yes. My little brother rants and raves about that book. I have not read it, but that is one of his favorite books.
Okay.
And then you also say we have to first unite. We're still arguing about natural versus unnatural hair. I laugh because on the larger scale of things, that is so minute.
It is. I mean, we are so distracted by the silliest of things.
Yeah. And Lifetime has got us all, on NyQuil for Negroes.
It's so sad.
And let's see. Al says Donovan is Black Pride, Demetra is Black Beauty, and my stepdad is the creature from the Black Lagoon. And Alex says, yes, Black people. My album 87th is streaming on every platform. Alex the Great 87. We should unite. And check this out. Mm-hmm. He has sent me some music. I want to use it.
Okay.
For when we do YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll put that in there.
Send me on Messenger.
Yes, I'll send it to you. Okay, I'll send it to you. Hey,
that'll be 1995 though.
1995. Yes, we need to do a commercial in 1995 for the Alex Greatest Hits.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Demetra K's mom wrote a very, very influential song that I am going to try to beat her daughter to publicate.
You'll die trying. Exactly. You will die trying, okay?
It's R. Kelly-esque.
So, to answer that, we need to unite everybody around the world. Yeah, we need to unite.
Yeah, long overdue, even though it's not a bad concept. It's not an old concept.
It's not an old concept.
Or a new concept.
Marcus Garvey was trying to have us do that almost 100 years ago. Yeah. And he also said, I'm also working on getting an art exhibit, and trash TV has us all unfocused. Yes. You know, I doesn't say all the time, Alex is very young, very ambitious, though. Well, he's young to me. But, he's very ambitious. And it'd be nice if we had a lot of millennials, if you will, who are doing things. Well,
here's the thing. A lot of people, have you noticed that your cable bill keeps going up?
Because I ain't got cable.
Right, but I'm just saying it's getting to a point. I had to get rid of my cable because I refuse. So now I do the internet. I got to keep the internet.
Right.
And so, Alex, like I said, do what I did. Just start your show on the internet. A lot of people are just watching shows. I'm not missing a beat.
Right, because you're getting all the information.
Right, all the information's still there. People live feed MSNBC, CNN, Fox. You can get it. You might be an hour or two off, but
who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
And then turn on NPR and listen to it if you want the up to date news. And Delicia,
but start your own TV show.
Absolutely, Delicia, how you doing? He says, I honestly think fear is the issue due to the history of white power basically killing our leaders or paying us to kill our own, to kill off our own, the real foundation of why we have no unity. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying is this other stuff is just, and I think too, I always use this analogy, we have become that frog in the water. You put the frog in the water and first the water's kind of cool and then you turn up the heat a little bit and it's like,
it's getting hot. It feels good though.
But I'm adjusting. It's not too bad in here. And eventually you boil to death because you just keep on being comfortable with the way things are. But it's going to come a point, and if it's not already, a point in time where Black people aren't going to have a choice. We're going to have to unite because otherwise we'll be picking cotton.
Pretty much.
You'll be picking cotton.
No.
Negro.
No. I bought in. I'm getting my check. Government shut down or nothing. I'm getting mine.
That's okay. Stay tuned for my AI. Yes. Okay, I got on my lesson on AI. So that's that on that. And so I will continue. So Jackie Dixon wanted to discuss the shutdown. And so we have discussed the shutdown in the last 2 weeks. So I just want to give a quick update. It is now the longest shutdown in American history, going on about 24 days now since December 22nd, 2018. As we know, the federal government is shut down due to Trump not getting his $5.7 billion wall from Congress.
No, that's the first installment payment.
Well, the first installment. Okay, so that's just the first installment from Congress. They said, hell no, we ain't giving it to you. What's the Democrats really kind of holding out on it? So he wants to secure the southern border of the United States. They're saying we're not giving it to you. He says, well, then I'm not letting the go.
I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Right. So originally he lied during his campaign speech saying that Mexico was going to pay for the wall. Now he wants Americans to pay for it. Funding for 12 federal entities needed to be secured by October 1st of 2018. That didn't happen, and an extension was given until December 22nd. Funding lapsed after that. Congress passed the bill, and Congress passes the bill, and the president signed them. The bill got passed, but Trump won't sign them until he gets funding for his wall. Plain and simple. Now, besides federal workers not being paid, food stamps being in jeopardy, income taxes being delayed, and the TSA, Department of Transportation, is not fully functional. Lots of private sectors are being affected because they cannot receive cargo. There's no one to receive or inspect the cargo for safety, so it's just sitting there.
This is an example of how trickle-down economics is supposed to work. Right, it's supposed to work.
Right, so a lot of people who are making fun of people who are on assistance, oh, you're not going to get your food stamps and all stuff. I know people who their job is sending people home early because we don't have any goods. The cargo is sitting there in the water. We can't get it.
My mom's a federal employee. She got a check at
Donovan's mom's a federal employee, and she's out of work.
She's out of work.
She's out of work, and so it's affecting everybody. Eventually, it's going to. Okay, and so let's see. All right, there's no one to receive it for safety. The housing authority is also affected. 1.2 million people are in danger of losing funding for their housing because there is no money to pay landlords to house low-income people. Not only could people get evicted, and in which they said in the histories of shutdown, nobody's got evicted, but the real issue is landlords might be in danger of losing their properties due to foreclosures if the shutdown lasts longer than a few months, because a lot of landlords have a reserve. Right. But after that reserve, no money is coming in. The banks are going to be like, well, that's not our problem.
Let's talk about the regular person. A lot of people have automated payments that, you got direct deposit that comes into your account. A lot of the people that are working day to day, because, people, I'm a federal employee, they make a lot of money. A lot of them make about $30,000, $40,000 on average. Those NFSF things came in because the money's not there. And once you got automated payment, you can go there and click it off.
You can, depending on
what it is. Depending on what it is. But a lot of people, their major stuff, you got to either go into the office or whatever. And so they're going to keep digging in, getting that money as the dates keep hitting. And
it's also said, too, about 78% of people, Americans, I could be wrong, but it's probably close, are living paycheck to paycheck.
More than that.
So, and I on my way over here, I was listening to NPR, and I heard a lady, she seemed to be a white lady, not that matters, but they're supposed to be, I guess, be the last affected, but she's a federal employee, and she was crying, saying, we're now looking at what are we going to eat? Because food stamps are what? They're in danger, and they're not opening new cases. Mm-hmm. So now people are like, oh my God, and these people are making money, but they're living paycheck to paycheck too.
40% of the federal government has not been fully funded, as in personnel, since Trump has taken office. Right. So what does that tell you? Exactly. And we talked about that on a previous show.
Mm-hmm. And the FDA is warning consumers to be leery of eating certain things like certain meats, fruits, and vegetables because it's
Nobody's
not fully staffed to properly inspect the food.
Exactly.
So eat at your own risk at this point, So those are some of the things that are now
if you are
really
flying, forget the TSA.
Right.
If this thing keeps going on, air traffic controllers, they can't work 20-hour shifts and stuff like that. So they've got problems too.
Right. And a lot of people are just not showing up to work. They're like, F you, I'm not showing up to work, Mm-hmm. And so that's what's going on. I'll get you guys' comments. And Patricia, I got you coming up. And let's see. And then Uri says, I just remember food supply is not being regulated. Yep, mm-hmm. She just talked about that. Al says, keep everything in the black family. For example, I was out in the yard today with my step ladder. Not my real ladder because we don't get along. This fool here. And I already says, I didn't really mean Mexico was building the wall, quote unquote.
Yes.
But, well, what did you mean? You're just throwing red meat out there.
Yeah, wait, he didn't mean Mexico ruling the wall. But remember when he called the Mexican president, was like, I need you to say you're going to pay for the wall.
And what did the Mexican president say?
Hell fucking no, I'm not paying for no fucking wall.
And then, so you guys know the GoFundMe that was made.
Oh, yeah. What happened to that?
The guy changed the name of it or the course, and so they're refunding the money back. And so now what he's doing, he wants to he wants to buy land from different people around the border and then start building a wall on their own. You know the crazy part about that is?
He's trying to make money off that.
Well, I don't know if he's trying to make money. I believe he's probably sincere, but the cold part? He ain't even heard from Trump. He said, did the reporter ask to say if he heard from Trump? He says, no, Trump, I haven't heard from Trump yet. Why are you doing this for Trump? But see, this is the other part that people aren't really digging deep in.
Sad.
Trump is trying to get $5.7 billion for his people. Look, he don't need you peons, little $20 million for the wall. There's a bigger issue here. That's why he ain't contacted you. He don't need, that's peanuts to him.
And what he's not telling you is he was offered 28 billion.
Right.
Before, and the Republicans voted for it, the Democrats voted for it. All he had to do was sign it. He rejected it because when he signed it, whatever, to $25 billion, because it had DACA in it.
Right.
And he said, no, I ain't going to do that. So, I mean, if you really wanted this law, you had Congress was Republican, the House of Representatives Republican, and you had the White House.
Right.
If you couldn't get it passed then...
He didn't want the Dreamer stuff in there.
Right, but still, they could have passed it, nothing the Democrats could have done.
Trump is full of...
So here we are.
And Tay says, what's sad is that Trump says that drugs are coming through the border when a ton of fentanyl just came through
Yeah,
the airport in Philly.
It did.
Well, damn.
It did.
They ain't talking about that border. We ain't talking about airports. We're talking about the southern border, which, all these.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, all these people that are scared and fear-mongered, they don't even live near a border. Now, we live near a border. Right, I don't see no mass invasion.
Right. And then, I'm sorry to hear that. Earl said I have not worked since January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
God, Lee's.
My mom hasn't worked since December 20-something or something.
And Babuya says Donald Trump, 45, is a megalomaniac looking for a grand gesture to secure his self-centered legacy.
Yeah.
He wants a 20,000-mile wall for the world to remember him by. You know
Ain't
what?
going to happen.
I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah. It ain't going to happen. It's kind of like the highway. The interstate highway system is based on Dwight Eisenhower.
Right.
So.
And then Tate says the veterans have been exposed. He's raised funds before and used the money for himself. What?
We got to follow that story up.
Well, the GoFundMe is supposed to be refunding all this $20 million large. Golly. Yeah. And the Earl says, what was missed during the week? El Chapo deposition. Yep. We did not walk across the border illegally. We came, through entry points like San Diego, used a boat or flew in. Mm-hmm. And then I saw a map too where they said around one side of the wall, you could just take a boat.
You can and go around it. Like, down in San Diego, yeah. Absolutely. But I mean,
who's behind the
we're a border state. San Ysidro, they let the people walk right over, they do their little shopping, whatever, and they come right. It's an open border.
I just can't call it no more. And Alex says he comes from a family of immigrants, which is ironic to me.
Yes, he does.
That's very ironic, but he doesn't want you to remember that.
Yeah, he claims to be...
And his wife.
Yeah. Well, his wife.
And it says every time I hear about this wall, all I can think about is the Berlin Wall. Right. Eventually, maybe it will come down. So anyway, that's all I have about that. And we'll continue to talk about that. So Patricia Johnson asked, this is one of my favorite questions of this week. Okay, she asked, has artificial intelligence (AI) affected our mental health with any type of mind control? Now, I say absolutely, but at first I wanted to say no. But when I really got to thinking about it and gathered more intel, I changed my mind. Now, anybody know what algorithms
are? Yes.
They basically are a thing that tracks what you do on the internet and this, that, and the other. You ever notice, to me, I'm even like, sometimes if I'm having a conversation, let's say I'm having a conversation about red tennis shoes. Somehow, somewhere, whether it's on social media somewhere, it'll pop up, or if I'm looking, it'll just pop up everywhere.
Keywords, key phrases.
Right, and so, but let me continue. All right, and so it's also known that 40% of internet users are not real.
Correct.
But they are bots, robots. They're not real. 40% is said. I don't know, how accurate it is, but it's funny because I was listening to NPR and they were talking about this.
That's correct.
About 40% of internet users aren't really real. They're bots or there's something else. Artificial intelligence. There's also this, I can't remember her name, but on Instagram, she's a robot and she has I think millions of followers and she's an influencer. She influences people, and a lot of people probably don't even realize she's fake. And so let's see what else I have. And so you guys have also been hearing a lot about being influenced by Russia. Oh, how did Russia do that on Facebook? Facebook got into trouble for that.
Right. Saying things about black folks, kind of, inciting the racial epithets and things like that.
But they were also influencing people to do what? Vote one way or another. And so, let's see. Because that's like I said, I was just going to say no and just be done with it. But once I really got to think about it and talking to my daughter and Al, it really just jogged a lot of stuff in my memory.
Stop talking to Deanna.
Right.
Social construct.
So mental health issue wise, we are all being influenced to do and be something we are not, whether we know it or not. Influenced to go against ourselves in advertising. As I said, if you're looking for something on your phone and it keeps popping up, and certain things like you wouldn't ordinarily
and they look at your trend. They look at your trend.
But certain things pop up on your social media that you wouldn't necessarily click on, but you keep seeing it. And so eventually you click on it, and so you're being influenced. That's right. The pornography that's on my phone is because it keeps coming up. I don't know why. Go ahead. Sorry. Algorithms. Okay. So the reason why I think it is a mental trip to Patricia's question is because it's got to be a mental trip to always be, not even that subconsciously going against something you would never do. Like we're turning into people we wouldn't ordinarily be. Like we're influenced, And this is all, not all, but a lot of it is done by AI, artificial intelligence. So let me just go on. I just want to guys like give you guys something to think about. So artificial intelligence, or AI, is also known as machine intelligence. It is the opposite of natural intelligence that is being used by humans or other animals. I guess we're considered an animal too.
We are an animal. We're the highest order because we use our brains. Yes.
Okay.
People can forget that.
Machines that use AI have just about all the capabilities that humans have, like learning, problem solving, speech patterns, strategy. Think about that. They could drive cars, Uber. My daughter was going to school in San Francisco. She said it was the norm to see self-driving cars driving people around. They have cognitive intelligence in that they are able to act from thought process and experiences. The machines also have developed emotions and social intelligence in that they are self-aware. Now, really, most of the things that they really don't have is like organs, the flesh and the stuff that we have. But for the most part, they have everything we have.
Watch Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined one.
Well, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can think about.
And where you guys have been, Afghanistan and Syria, they have drones that are self-aware and they engage on their own.
Me and my daughter were just talking about drones. And so they are self-aware. Now that we know all of that, I think the bigger question should be, should we be afraid of the potential of artificial intelligence? Okay. Now, world-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking, he just passed last year, warned us that AI could be the worst event in the history of our civilization. He also said that it needs to be controlled because if it is not, it could take us over and destroy us. Okay. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
And then Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, also warns us that it could be dangerous for mankind and that it is beneficial for man and machine to merge and to learn to coincide. If any of you guys have ever seen the Terminator,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger, Elon Musk's theory would make sense.
That would be if they become self-aware,
right? Because it's a matter of time if you really truly just think about that. And so, last it is said that Stephen Hawking, now this dude was a genius, like the best.
And he wasn't always in a wheelchair. People.
No, he wasn't always. He got a disease.
Yeah, disease. And
then he was so gangster, if you will, not in a good way, that he left his wife for the nurse.
Yes, he sure did.
But anyway, that's a whole other story. Okay. So it is said that Stephen Hawking and Bill Gates were and are very terrified of AI. Now, although it could be a good thing for Black people because if picking cotton comes back to America, they can get machines to do it. However, if the machines take over, y'all gonna be out there doing it.
But the thing is, machines are already picking cotton.
Right, but I was obviously being funny, hardy. But like I said, that was really one of my favorite topics. So thank you for that, Patricia, because I was speaking to Al and he was like, well, he wasn't really aware of the whole AI. And I'm like, well, AI happened really, before that, but when you could just walk up to a Versatile machine, or ATM machine.
You're in an airplane flying.
Yeah. Or,
the autopilot.
They're even having robots do surgery on people.
Yes.
So absolutely. AI is here.
It's here.
And so, per the theory of Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk and a lot of other people, it is really a matter of time before they start to outsmart us because they are self-aware. You're having people having sex with robots.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you got to think about it like this. When you're a child, and how many of you guys remember when you first became self-aware? Think about it.
Right.
Now, the minute you become self-aware, you start defending yourself from getting hurt.
Exactly.
That's what's going to happen with the AI.
Man.
Think about it.
But people don't, and then, I love them. But Al was like, well, that's a long way off. I'm like,
no, it's not. Afghanistan, they're past the testing phase, but they have drones that has nobody watching them. They're just doing what they
everywhere.
Do. Yes,
everywhere. AI is in this phone. It's everywhere.
The cameras that are watching the cities.
Everywhere.
That is AI.
Everywhere. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see.
Ooh, you got me scared now.
You should be very afraid. And Earl says, and 2 out of 3. Wives, 2. What I don't know. Wives, 2. Oh, also, 2 out of 3 of Trump's wives were immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see. Alex says, yes, on Facebook, Instagram ads pop up when I search up shoes or clothing, and I block plenty of fake people adding on Facebook. Yeah, there's a lot of those people aren't real. So only reason why I could be a bot. But I'm real because I'm sitting here talking to you. But how do we even know that most of the people we interact with are real?
You know what? I don't think you're real. Why don't you knock your head against the desk?
Oh, I'm real. Trust me. 100% grade A.
Right.
Hey, a little bit too much grade A.
Right,
but anyway, so Earl says, and they know how much we got time on.
We got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, so and Earl says, and they knew who to target. Scary. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is like some real life sci-fi stuff.
Whenever you go to Facebook jail, there's a person judging what you're doing. That's an algorithm that is saying, oh, he's saying something.
The words and things like that. Mm-hmm. That's why
they lock you up.
Right. There's certain words I won't say because I'm on to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alex, she says the exact item I searched up would pop up. Yeah. So it's not a coincidence. Right. There's something out there. And they're also saying too, with a lot of these bots. A lot of them are made to scam advertisers because if you get so many clicks, then the advertiser will pay you. So companies are like, okay, we're going to create these fake profiles and stuff to get paid. Mm-hmm. And so now they're trying to figure out how to get away around it because you're not even real people.
Yeah, they're fighting a war within cyber.
And so Earl says sex dolls too. Yeah, so just said people are having I don't need a man. Shoot,
we don't need a woman.
I got Bruce. Or what would my sex doll be called? Killer. I'm just kidding.
Cutthroat.
No, ain't gonna be no damn cutthroat now because he might really cut my throat. Okay. No. And then Al says the Jetsons, Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica, Jason L. Star Commander, Yogi Space Race, the movies are iRobot, Jason X,
Space 1999,
movies starring Anthony Hamilton come to mind. So. We're living this stuff here. I mean, I rule the day that a robot just comes and chokes me or something.
Chokes you out.
You know what I mean?
That's a day.
God.
Or it shuts down the system and starts shooting the missiles on our defense system.
And the crazy part is Donovan actually made me think about this because this dude here has technology every damn way. But he said he really sat back and thought about it and says, I had to unplug for certain things because I could be shut down or hacked.
Yep.
I mean, this dude had everything wired, and he was like, "I'm leaving myself open."
I had the doorbell, the garage, the attic fan. You name it, it was
cameras
all
everywhere.
Wired. Yeah, everything was wired.
So you're like, I'm leaving myself open, and so that made. Well, I'm not plugged up to a lot of stuff, but it made me think let me stay off the grid just a little bit,
I went back and got the old ding dong doorbell.
Right. Okay. Because I didn't like you taking my picture every time I'm standing. I might be digging somewhere I don't want you to before you open the door. And then Tay says there was a really good movie about the good and the bad side of AI. It's called AI, Artificial Intelligence. I think that's what Al was just talking about. And then Earl says we should be afraid. One of those AI bots was not programmed to say about killing humans. One of those bots said it. They shut it down. I think I saw that where it was talking about killing people. So can we stop making bots?
Nope. Because wait. Do you guys remember a movie? Well, some of you guys are too young to remember it, but those of us that are old enough, Logan's Run.
I've heard of it.
Remember Logan's Run? Farrah Fawcett was in the movie. And the guy that was on Wayne's World, he was not Wayne's World, he was in Austin Powers. He was Austin Powers' boss.
Okay.
That guy.
Oh, yeah.
Guys got to remember in Logan's Run, there were no black people in the movie. So they don't expect black folks and Mexicans to be here, people of color to be here in the future.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at the numbers down, we hovering around 13% for a very long time and dwindling. So
think about it.
I'm going to Africa. Is that where we going, Sydney? Is we going to Africa? Let me know. I pack light. I'll be ready to go in no time. Okay. And then Patricia said that was a very informative article.
It was.
Yeah, and I knew a lot about AI already because I knew a guy and that was his thing, was AI. And so we talked about it all the time. So I was kind of well versed about it. But I looked a little deeper and I was like, God, this is some scary stuff.
It is.
And then Babuya says, and then for those of you guys on the podcast, I will hear from you guys next week. Thank you so much. And then Babuya says, I have seen people having conversations with Siri. Yes, My daughter said that. She said,
Siri.
Siri is AI. Having conversations with Siri, and they think that is normal. And we see how Russia used AI to get 45 elected. So yes, AI is dangerous. I mean, how many of you guys, I don't have it, what is it, Alexa, Echo, and all these things?
All that stuff, yep.
What if you say, Alexa, turn on the heat or something, I don't know. And then
that's exactly why I unplugged.
She says, I ain't doing a damn thing.
Oh, that's the black Alexa.
That's the black
Alexa. Nigga, I said close the door.
You better